I had a contractor's experience yesterday. A guy found my resume online. I don't know exactly how his business works, but he essentially has technical installations that need to happen all over the world. He says he's very busy, which is kind of something to wonder about. But anyway, he hires me after a 10 or 15 minute phone call while I'm at the gym. He wants me to go do a job like 10 or 15 minutes down the road at a Best Western hotel. He wants the switches swapped out. And that is essentially what the job was. I didn't even go over how much I was getting paid. I'm thinking, this is a job. He wants me to go swap out some switches that it's going to take 20 to 30 minutes to take care of. And that's exactly what the job was. So anyway, we talk about pay after the fact. 35 bucks an hour. So this job was only going to get me 35 bucks. But essentially, the job was done. There was a slight snag. I didn't quite take the pictures I was supposed to take. I was given an email with these instructions, and I was supposed to read them before the job. But I was given 30 minutes to get there on time. I also realized if I'm going to show up, I don't think he cared what I look like, but I was wearing a stretched out t-shirt. That's why when I do these videos, if I look like I'm in a really wore out t-shirt, that's my gym clothes. I either came from there or I'm going there. So, did the job. After the job's completed, I send him the pictures that he wants, and then he wants me to come by his shop to pick up some hardware for a following job. Following job sounds like a straightforward job. He wants me to install some satellite equipment. Starlink. No drilling needed. You just screw or bolt the thing together and you're good, and plug it in. You're not drilling into the roof. It's just going to be mounted or anchored down with 4 cinder blocks. I saw pictures on how he wants this done. Yeah, obviously you don't want to be digging into someone's roof. That's just a liability. But anyway, after I get the hardware, he sends me the email with descriptions. So the catch with this job, it's like 2.5 hours north of here. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. You baited me with a job down the street. Now you want me to go spend 5 hours out of my day just driving, uncompensated for. Fact of the matter is, I think he said he was going to pay mileage for the gas. But no, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm not giving up 5 hours out of my day without my hourly rate. It doesn't make sense. So, through a text conversation, we decide this isn't going to work out. I'm going to give him the hardware the following day. And I just did that. That's where I'm ranting right now. And ultimately, I'm here not because it went well. I'm doing this video because he got me all riled up. Now, he got his hardware, and upon me the very first interaction, he was very cordial, and he's like, yeah, sorry, it's not going to work out. But he starts huffing and puffing. He said, no, he's like, how no one's going to pay you an hourly rate to come and go. Well, I charge for an hourly rate to drive that kind of distance. Sorry. So, he started to huff and puff and show off what a jerk he can be by calling me names like cripple. I don't know if anyone of you notices, but I'm a stroke victim. So I have a mild disability on my right side. So he decides to call me a cripple and a dumbass and some other words because I didn't give him what he wanted. I could not believe how it went from cordial to this isn't going to work in a neutral state to you're a dumbass. You've reneged on a job. Holy cow. He threatened to screw with my reputation because he's apparently a 3rd generation South Bay guy. Holy cow. So anyway, just a day's experience yesterday and today. I had the confidence not to take that job since the $70 it probably would have made me would have gone right back into the gas tank. I could not believe how he went from professional to, holy shit, did he just call me an asshole and a cripple? So this is why long conversations are a worthy bit. That's why when someone wants to interview me, I will give them days-long conversations. If you want to talk to me 3 or 4 or 5 times before you hire me to get to know my personality, I encourage it. I'm not going to give you grief for not paying me for these conversations just so you can get to know me. But holy cow, when he didn't get what he wanted, he was ready to throw a punch. He lunged at me like he was about to. I could not believe the experience. So, just things to think about when you're out looking for work. Don't get too excited to take the job. It might actually cost you money, literally speaking. Because if you're asked to travel hours out of the day and you're only getting even mileage, you're going to lose money. You're expected to pay, you get an hourly rate for doing 2 or 3 hours of work, and then you want to work, you want to give up hours of your time and not have that time allocated towards other things that you could be doing. Think about that. I don't understand how he gets other technicians to work for so little. He says he's very busy. That makes me wonder if he's just not charging enough. I get the business model. He charges some hundreds of dollars, and his contractor, like me, gets a fraction of that. So here we are, me ranting, feeling better. This is sort of therapy for me. I could not believe the action that I was just on the receiving end of. Professional to threatening in a 5-minute conversation because I wasn't willing to work for free. Have a good day.